the force of impact from my back hitting that rock and how the nerves seized up shifted my lumbar spine 21 degrees to the left.
You're lucky that you didn't get paralyzed.
Yeah. I think about that every single day. I ended up walking into, so this was probably 4 or 5 years after breaking my back. The vertebrae healed, the herniations healed, still couldn't move. Still, every day was literally just how do you get through it? What do you got to do to move as little as possible, to be as comfortable as possible? And I remember I was at a grocery store. This was down in Santa Monica. And this guy approached me because I was having a hard time like getting the milk off of the rack and putting it into the cart. And obviously it was very visible, man. I was struggling with movement. And he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, here's my card. I want to help you." And I said, "I don't need your help." And he says, I think you do. "I'm not asking for money. I just want you to come see me as soon as you can." I took him up on it. A couple of days later, I called him. We set up the first appointment. I walk in, and the first thing he says, without asking anything of the origin story, what your injury, what's going on, he's like, "Man, we got to fix that left leg." And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I broke my back. This has nothing to do with my left leg. And we kind of had that conversation. And he was the first person, and we're talking after PTs, after chiros, after doctors, after acupuncturists and massage therapists, everybody was focused on my back. And he's the one person who didn't give a shit about my back. He's like, we've got to fix how that leg works if we're going to ever have a quality of life again. Within the very first session, we didn't do anything for my back. We literally repositioned the alignment of my left leg. And it was the first time in years that I could breathe without pain. It was the first time I actually was able to stand up and feel like I was standing on both legs and not just dumped over into one leg to support me up. And that was the pivotal, life-changing moment that there's a way to do this. I had just been looking in all the wrong areas.
Whoa. And isn't it interesting too, how you can get first opinion, second opinion, third, fourth, fifth, and there's still someone that comes along that has a different perspective and it turns out to be right for you.
Dude, I brought my body to so many people, experts and specialists, and each one tried to literally they gave me a different reason as to why things are the problem the way they are. And it was finally after vetting through most of those where I get to a guy who just completely radically changes how I'm approaching the body and the problem that I have. That's when things started to change, is when we changed the thinking and how we were approaching it. It was no longer, let's just go make my back feel better. It's how do we get my legs to work better? And the reaction was my back just started to work and heal faster than it had in 5 years.
It's interesting. There's probably something here to be said about first principles thinking. It's like, well, if the back has a problem, what's contributing to the back problem? Maybe it's the leg alignment. So the first principles is go back to the leg alignment, fix the leg alignment, back alignment fixes itself. So, and I think that the medical approach to fixing problems sometimes has that bias of like only addressing a symptom and not addressing the cause. Mm-hmm. So I'm obviously not a doctor, but it seems like there might have been a cause that was addressed that fixed a symptom for you.
Yeah, well, if we take a big step back, the medical system is not here to cure. They're here to help reduce symptoms. And right. My symptom was back pain. They weren't trying to cure me. They weren't trying to resolve the root cause. And it wasn't until we stopped chasing symptoms and looked at what is causing these symptoms to be here in the first place. Nothing changed.
Yeah, you think about even the idea of the medical field of pain management. You're like, wow, pain management specialist? You might as well just say, the do nothing service.
Yeah. I mean, look, my pain management specialist was just really good at giving me really strong drugs.
Yeah.
That was the whole thinking and approach.
Right.
Yeah. That's how I was managing. Yeah. And I developed a great dependency on narcotics because of it. That was the next phase of how.
And then they have other doctors for that.
Yep. And then I took these to get off those and then those to do this. And it's like, I still can't fucking move.
Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. Just fix my back.
Where nothing was being addressed.